Let's talk about our next topic here, and that is, well, it's a question anybody would ask when they hear fans talk about this, or kind of do the reviews or the rants or the vent the frustration stuff. And that is, if given the chance, could fans, hardcore and casual, do a better job of booking and do a better job booking and creatively than WWE's current staff? In other words, could the fans that come out on social media, and I say this with all due respect, could they do a better job than WWE is currently doing behind the scenes when it comes to creatively coming up with ideas and booking stars that the way they feel they should be booked? So that is and hello, Wild Hops. Nice to see you in here as well. But yeah, that is a good question. In fact, that is a question that a lot of people would wonder. It's like, they see someone like a JD from a JD from an NY 206, or a Just Alex, FKA Deluxe Man, or OTRS Central, Good Mike with Greg Morgan, or Solomonster sounds off, and the list could go on. They hear them come on here onto YouTube, onto Twitter, onto Facebook, and they hear them rant and complain and just destroy verbally what WWE is currently doing. And basically a lot of people would look at this, and even through the counter arguments, try to say, well, man, taking this too out of proportion, what if there's something more to it, or what if this, what if that? And there are people, as I adjust my headset here, there are people that basically will just look at this and be like, well, these people believe this wrestling company is doing such a poor job. What makes them think they can do any better? That's what some people look at. And as I was trying to say, as I was just adjusting my headset there, when they counter argument or kind of counter what people like, let's say Alex are talking about, they're trying to tell them, look, man, they're basically trying to tell them, or even ask them in their own unique way when they try to counter argue it, that or anything that they feel is wrong, that being someone like a Just Alex or a JD or whatever, they'll counter argue it by saying, oh, really? So you work behind the scenes at WWE? You know what's going on there? Do you know what it takes to plan all this out? They would ask them. They would legitimately ask them that question. And basically, in their own way, they're pretty much asking these fans, these hardcore and casual fans, to come out and discuss what they feel is wrong with WWE, or what WWE is doing wrong, and all that with certain superstars and storylines. They would ask them, really, so you work for WWE? And yeah, honestly, they would say, no, I don't, but it's just by seeing what's going on, it's obvious. And that, I think, is where the question would get arose, but in their own unique way of asking it. Well, if you had the chance, what would you do? Well, if you had the chance of WWE allowing you to book for one night, for, let's say, a Raw or a SmackDown, or even a pay-per-view, just for one opportunity, if they gave you the ball, and for that one time to run with it, and allowed you to run with it, could you do a better job at booking certain superstars a certain way, and could you be more creative, from a storyline perspective? That's basically what a lot of people would ask. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that work in a company like WWE, they hear these people complain, and they're probably thinking, well, they think they could do a better job, then why don't they come out and do it? I mean, I think this is why Road Dogg, Brian G. James, or Jesse James, if you will, got critical with a lot of fans at times. It's mostly the fact that he basically, in his own unique way, was like, well, if you think you could do better, prove it. Come out, come out and show us that you could do better. And and that obviously leads to the question: could these fans do a better job? And I think if you straight up ask them, if you straight up ask someone like Just Alex, formerly known as the Lex Man, or JD from NY206, also part of House of Glory, HOG Wrestling, or Jason Solomon, the Solomonster Sounds Off, and House of Glory himself, as well as good mic work and OTRS Central. If you were to ask them if they could do a better job booking stars in a certain way and being creative with like storylines and stuff, they would probably tell you, yeah, we can be better than that. We could do better than this guy, or we could do better than that guy. And we'll show you. Here's how we would do it. That's honestly, they would come out and tell you that. They would say, yeah, we could do better, and we can do better. Give us a chance. We'll show we can do it. And I don't. Here's the thing. As much as I'm stumbling over my words here, trying to think about what I'm going to say next, because I'm also checking out on things, or doing things, or just getting back from a little bit of a break there. Honestly, when it comes to fans believing that they could do a better job, because some fans, like let's say Alex and JD and O2R Central, and even Solomonster have come out and said, have come out on the reviews, the podcast, if you will, and they have basically said, hey, look, I just planned out the next few months for you with this storyline and how it could go, and what, like, okay, what I'm trying to say is, there have been several times that I've seen these individuals do something like, let's say, Just Alex. I've been watching Alex for a long time. I've been watching his YouTube channel for a long time. And Alex has many times, when he feels that a situation could be done in a better way, has come out and basically said, hey, look, he would take whatever the situation he felt was needed to be fixed, if you will, and he would say, hey, look, see, I just fixed it for you. I just planned out the next few months for you leading up to so-and-so pay-per-view. And the reason he would say that, the reason he would do something like that, is because he believes he could do a better job. So if you follow someone like Just Alex on YouTube, and during his reviews, he says, oh, this is dumb. It has potential, but it's dumb, but I could fix it, and here's how it could lead into something. He'll do it. He'll literally say, this is how you do this is how it connects to this, and this is your payoff. He basically will come out, like I said, and say, I just planned, and by doing so, he'll come out, like I just said, Ed, and basically proclaim or say, yeah, I just planned out the next several months for you leading into a closure match, or, an end goal at your next big pay-per-view. And, he's not the only one. He's not the only one. JD from NY206 has given examples of what could be done correctly. So is OTRS Central. So is Jason Solomon. Solomonster Sounds Off. Greg Morgan of Good Mic Work. Brian Zane of Wrestling with Wregret. They have all, in their own unique way, kind of given an idea of, hey, look, we could do a better job than you guys can. So, getting back onto the question of the topic, is, if given a chance, do these hardcore and casual fans that all kind of feel this way, besides the ones I just mentioned, do they all feel that they could do a better job if given that chance? If Vince McMahon or Triple H was to take them aside right now and say, for this one night of Raw only, for this one night only, we're giving you the book, do what you want to do with it. Would they be able to, do the better job? We don't know. Maybe they feel, even though they come out and say that they can, if given the task for one night, could they do it? Could they do it for, like, if someone like a Vince or a Hunter gave them the books to Raw, gave them the book to SmackDown, gave them the book to a pay-per-view, and said, okay, the floor is yours. Show us what you can do. Would they be able to do a better job? Hard to say. Because here's the other thing. Here's kind of the negative about it. There are those that, like I mentioned earlier, counter argue what a Just Alex or JD or an OTR Central would say, hey, when how they feel about something not going in a certain direction, or you know, should be going, or a superstar being booked in a certain way that they should be instead of another way. Some people that counter argue them and try to say, look, you're making a big deal out of nothing, da da da. Basically, some of those kind of people, in just my opinion, would be like, well, if this person was given a chance even for one night to book a show like a pay-per-view or a Raw or SmackDown, oh yeah, they would push the people they feel that needs to be pushed, but they put them in matchups that only they would want to see because they're the hardcore fans. They want those PWG and New Japan like matches, and they would make sure that happened. Like they would go to a Ricochet and say, Ricochet, we brought in Adam Cole from NXT. You and him are going to have a match today, and you're going to get hard hitting style, and it's going to go for several commercial breaks. In the first 30 minutes of, let's say, the second commercial break, we're going to get a pinfall attempt. Adam's going to kick out. He's going to hit you with a finisher. You're going to kick out. Oh, the match. It's going to be so great. That's what they feel. That's what people that counter argue with, you know, how Deluxe Man, or Just Alex, I should say, JD from NY206, OTR Essential, Greg Morgan of Good Mic Work, Jason Solomonster Sounds Off, and many others. That's how they counter. That's how they would see someone like them. That's how they would see these individuals that I just mentioned booking a show. They would book it the way they would have seen these guys on the independents because they believe that's how they should be booked. Now, again, getting back on topic here, because I know I sound like I'm rambling a little bit. If given the chance, if they were given the opportunity to book WWE creatively for at least maybe one night, book certain stars a certain way, having them go over or shine or whatever, and creatively, storyline wise, what could they do a better job? Basically, that would be the question. Could they do a better job than WWE's current staff? I believe that some of them could. Yes, I do. But, 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 even though I believe some of them could probably do a better job than some of the members on the WWE's creative staff, I don't think they'd be able to do it. I don't think they'd be able to do a better job, an overall masterpiece. I'll put it that way. I think maybe like for certain segments, they'd be able to do a good job, a better job than WWE's creative team. But I don't think overall they'd be able to really handle the responsibility. I think in the long run, what could happen, or would happen, is they would understand. They basically, at the end of the day, even if for one day, for one night, at the end of that at the end of that night, at the end of that event, I believe those that come out here and complain about certain, things not making sense, or certain wrestlers being directionless or buried, that I believe they would come out with a better understanding if given that one opportunity to book a show in the way they feel it should be booked. That even though they might hit a home run, with certain segments and matches here and there, that at the end of the day they would have a better understanding and respect for what goes on creatively and be like, oh, and they'd probably be like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand why this is happening. I may not like it, but now I have a better understanding. But overall, yeah, I believe not 100%. Okay. But like I said, not 100%, not like an overall. And I was just reading something there from fellow YouTuber Wild Hops, just a message there. But anyway, I believe, like I said, I believe honestly they could do a better job than some of the members, but I don't think they could do an overall spectacular job. And like I said, even though it sounded like I rambled here on this topic, went all over the place, if you will. Um, I I honestly believe if you were to ask people that counter argue some of the things they talk about, like some of the things they don't like seeing going on right now currently with the WWE product, those people, they would agree that yeah, maybe they could do a better job than some of the creative staff behind the scenes right now, but that overall the only reason they'd want to book the show, be given that one night opportunity, is to book it the way they feel it should be booked, the way they would want it. Just like they would used to see them in other promotions, just like they would see certain things in other promotions, they would want to see it here, and that's how they would book it. But could these hardcore and casual fans that come out and rant and vent and all that, and I say this with all due respect, could they do a better job? I think in some ways, yes, they could, but overall, not really, because again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but I believe if they were given a one night shot, that even though could show that they have potential to do a better job with certain stars and certain segments and storylines, that at the end of the day, at the end of the night, at the end of the event, they would come out with a better appreciation and understanding of what's going on. So, yes, I do. So, in the end, I do believe they could do a better job than certain members, but I don't think they could overall handle the whole situation. So, that's just my opinion. Now, so with that said, and I do apologize if I went all over the place with that. That was my fault. So our next topic here. Next topic is one that a lot of people have been talking